Growing up as a kid, yeah. All a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from.
The division that I have to talk about is the AFC East. Now the AFC East is a division that a lot of people are really interested in seeing play out this season. Because you got the Buffalo Bills, who are the favorites to win this division. You got the New England Patriots. You got the New York Jets. And you got the Miami Dolphins. So let's start with the New England Patriots. I think a lot of people are really sleeping on the New England Patriots. A lot of people think just because they lost Tom Brady that the New England Patriots reign of dominance on the AFC East is over. And I think that is really disrespectful. I don't know what's more disrespectful. The fact that people don't think that Bill Belichick is a good enough coach for the Patriots to even be competitive, despite having the toughest schedule in the NFL, or the fact that people think that the New England Patriots are going to tank for Trevor Lawrence. The New England Patriots are one of the best franchises, not only in the NFL, but in sports. They are the gold standard of how you run a successful franchise. So if you think for 1 second that the New England Patriots are going to tank for Trevor Lawrence, I think you need to reassess your thinking. Because that's not what great franchises do. Great franchises are okay with letting great players like Tom Brady walk away. Because they have that mentality that everybody can be replaced. And Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots front office and coaching staff has had that mentality for a while. The only difference is that they used that mentality with their best player in Tom Brady, and they were okay and let him walk away. So the fact that people don't think that the New England Patriots are even going to be competitive this year, or that they're going to be taking for Trevor Lawrence, is ridiculous. You think a franchise as good as the New England Patriots is going to risk all their eggs in one basket on the guy who's never played a snap in the NFL? For all we know, Trevor Lawrence can be a great college quarterback, but he could be a bust in the NFL. I think that's ridiculous. A lot of people say that the New England Patriots don't have a lot of talent. The New England Patriots are one of those teams that you don't predict how good they're going to be based on the talent that they have on the roster. Because you can make the argument for over the last 3 seasons that the New England Patriots haven't had a top 15 roster in a very long time. The New England Patriots don't win games because of the players that they have on the roster. They win games because of being very well coached, paying attention to details, and being disciplined. They beat you by the small things. You can make the argument to say that the Rams were going to beat the Patriots because the Rams were the more talented team. And that's a narrative going into that Super Bowl a couple of years ago that the Patriots had no chance against the Rams. The Rams had the innovative young offensive-minded head coach. They had a younger team with a lot of talent, and they were just more talented. But what happened? New England went to that Super Bowl and they upset the Rams and they stopped the best offense in the NFL. So, I mean, that should be an indicator that the New England Patriots don't win games based on talent. They win games based on coaching. Then a lot of people are doubting Cam Newton. Like, a lot of people keep saying that the Patriots aren't getting the same Cam Newton from 2015. The Patriots don't need Cam Newton from 2015. If you need your quarterback to be Superman, that just means that you don't have a great coaching staff. If Cam Newton can go to the Super Bowl with Ted Ginn being his best wide receiver, I'm pretty sure he can go to the Super Bowl with Julian Edelman, N'Keal Harry, Mohamed Sanu, Sony Michel, and James White in the backfield. He also has a pretty good offensive line. This is probably the best offensive line that Cam Newton has ever played with in his whole entire NFL career, and the best coaching staff that Cam Newton has ever played in his entire NFL career. He also has one of the best defenses in the NFL. So I think a lot of people are really counting out the New England Patriots this season. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills is a team that is really good going into this year, at least on paper. I mean, the offensive line should be improved. They finally got that number 1 wide receiver that they've been looking for a while, and Stephon Diggs. And you pair him up with John Brown, who John Brown wasn't even that bad as the Buffalo Bills number 1 last season. So you got Stephon Diggs and John Brown. You got a pretty good group of halfbacks. You got my guy Zach Moss and Devin Singletary at the halfback position, and you got Josh Allen. Now, a lot of people really hate on Josh Allen just because Josh Allen isn't the flashiest quarterback when it comes to throwing the football. But listen, Josh Allen, a lot of people just need to accept the fact that Josh Allen isn't going to be a quarterback that consistently completes over 60% of his passes on a year in and year out basis. He's going to have some seasons that he completes 62%, 63% of his passes. Then he's going to have the majority of his seasons where he completes less than 60% of his passes. But that doesn't mean he isn't going to be a good quarterback. You don't need to be a good quarterback to complete over 6% of your passes. You just need to be able to win games, and that's what Josh Allen is able to do. And a lot of people don't even take into account of how great of an athlete that Josh Allen is. A lot of people talk about Josh Allen running the football. Hell, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson run the football just as much. I mean, we talk about Lamar Jackson and all the highlight reel runs he has. Josh Allen has just as many highlight reel runs as Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, Josh Allen, I think, is a good enough quarterback to win games for the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills also have a really good defense. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL as well. So, I mean, the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots are both going to be jockeying to see who ends up winning the AFC East this season. And I'm really interested in seeing how it plays out. Now, the next two teams you have the New York Jets and you have the Miami Dolphins. So let me get the New York Jets out of the way. The New York Jets went 7-9 last season in 2019. Sam Darnold missed the first part of the season due to having mono, so they basically had Luke Falk playing quarterback, and that was a disaster because they could barely move the ball on offense. So the offensive line should be a little bit better. They brought in Mekhi Becton with their first round selection. Then you bring in Denzel Mims. Now, me personally, I'm not high on the New York Jets. I don't think Adam Gase is the right coach for the New York Jets. I think Adam Gase is the most overrated head coach maybe in NFL history. Because aside from that one lone playoff appearance that he has with the Miami Dolphins, what has he done as an NFL head coach? So you look at Adam Gase, not really all that great in the locker room, not really great with the media, and he wasn't really able to adjust that New York Jets offense. With the New York Jets offensive line struggling, I feel Adam Gase could have did more to put Sam Darnold in better situations to be successful. Now, a lot of people don't think Sam Darnold's all that great, but I think Sam Darnold's being held back by the New York Jets coaching staff. I think that Sam Darnold's being held back by Adam Gase. And the defense had a lot of injuries, but even then, the defense, without Jamal Adams, if they do trade Jamal Adams, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Because Jamal Adams, not only was he their best defensive back, but he also played linebacker. He also was their best tackler at certain points. He was their best defensive back, the best coverage guy, their best tackler, and one of their best pass rushers on the team with C.J. Mosley not being there. So, I mean, the New York Jets, I'm not really all that high on the New York Jets this season. I think the New York Jets are really overrated. Like, I don't get what a lot of people see in the New York Jets for them to be like a playoff team or something like that. I think they're really overrated. I don't think the New York Jets are going to be that good. Now, you got the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Miami Dolphins are one of the most improved teams. I'm not even going to say one of the most. I'm going to say the Miami Dolphins are the most improved team going into this year's NFL season. You got Byron Jones, you pair him up with Xavier Howard. Now you got the best 1-2 punch at the quarterback position in the NFL. You got Calvin Noah in free agency. You also got Curtis Weaver, who I feel was one of the more underrated players in this past year's draft class. So, I mean, this Miami Dolphins defense is going to be really good. Then the offensive line is a big problem that I have because although the offensive line brought in a lot of young guys, those guys are really young and they're really inexperienced. So I still think this Miami Dolphins offensive line, although they may be a tad bit better than what they were last season, I still think they're going to struggle. Now, you bring in Matt Breida from the San Francisco 49ers and Jordan Howard. So, I mean, the running back group is better than what it was last season. And you draft Tua Tagovailoa. Will he be able to start week 1 with the whole pandemic that's going on over Ryan Fitzpatrick if we have an NFL training camp? That will remain to be decided. But the wide receiving core is pretty good as well. You got Devontae Parker, who had a career-saving year. And you got Allen Hurns. You also got a couple of other guys as well. So, I mean, the Miami Dolphins are really improved. But the team I'm taking to win this division, I'm still going to take the New England Patriots to win this division. As crazy as it sounds, I think New England is still going to remain the king of the AFC East. And I know a lot of Buffalo Bills fans are going to be upset with that, but look, like Ric Flair used to say, to be the man, you have to beat the man. And the Buffalo Bills have yet to beat the New England Patriots yet. So, until I see the Buffalo Bills completely beat the New England Patriots, I'm going to take New England to win this division. I think New England has a lot of motivation. I think Bill Belichick, not only is he motivated to prove that he can win without Tom Brady, but Cam Newton is motivated to prove that he still has what it takes to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. So I'm taking the New England Patriots to win the division this season in the AFC East.